Hello, Kaloo. My name is Notepad Anon, and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? We're going to be going over Iron Methuselah, otherwise known as the first episode of Iron Methuselah, where we write all the basic game mechanics. Few reasons why we're operating a little late tonight. One, I got distracted and just wanted to play some Fallout 4. Because I've been on a Fallout 4 kick for some reason, and because I hate myself. Let's see. Also, Niji Sanji just had damage control stream where they had a bunch of talents do a video insulting Selen. I am not surprised. Niji is currently falling apart. Like it's actually quite amusing to think about. But yeah, no, Niji is on fire currently. Bunch of information that could dox a bunch of Niji talents in the documents her lawyer sent to Niji, meaning that they take legal action to doxing a bunch of their own talents. Unsurprising. That is a incredibly, like, to give you an idea, that is an incredibly, like, good thing they did that. Because that is a legal perfection right there. That is the a lot of technicalities that eventually, I'm going to say eventually someone's going to have to address. But today is not that day. Hello, yes, Iron Methuselah time. So I wrote the basics of how things are going to be going. Here's the Iron Methuselah the cover. For those interested, we're using Lexan. We're using Lexan Light as our main body font. We're going to be using Cardo, yes, Cardo as our header font. This is actually a font called Dead Kansas. Dead Kansas is actually the Walking Dead thing, by the way. I find that very funny, so I wanted to use it. But, real quick. Yeah, no, it's, apparently more drama has come out. Apparently an Animu dub person decided to just say, yeah, we rewrote the entirety of the English dub to change the story because we didn't like the story very much of an anime, but it's fine because they did it with Samurai Pizza Cats. Therefore, we're allowed to do this with an actual script we just ignored. And then they hired a bunch of YouTubers they liked. I'm like, wow. Cool. Super cool, guys. I love Japanime. I love Japanime so much. But yeah, let's get to it. Dub Writer also changed the name of the author's self-insert to their own name. Of course they did. You know exactly what I'm talking about too, which is the worst part. Yeah, no, apparently there is, like, Moist Critical, whatever the fuck his name is. He's in that show as well. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I used to kind of like Moist Critical, but then I realized it's the exact same shit every single time, and it's oh, I don't know why people enjoy him. I don't get it now. I was like, oh, he's like the newsman, but then I realized he just regurgitates news, and it's very dull. Did I do an actual manly for this? I completely forgot to do a manly for this, didn't I? Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I knew I forgot something. See, this is the problem. I knew I was forgetting something. Here, let's take a look at my venerable folder of manlies. Let's we'll keep it a fairly simple manly this time around, just to make sure we're all Gucci in the hood. There we go. We'll use Cleric Manly. Hello, Cleric Manly. It's the Manly Zoo. Yes, it's one of those beautiful disaster pieces that we can never escape when it comes to Western Japanime. Because people absolutely despise it, and I don't know why they work in an industry they absolutely hate. But then I remember they're D-listers who can't get a real job translating anything. God, I love it. Generally speaking, also, I'd like to thank Wombat CD for following. Thank you very much, Kisu Kisu. Yeah, good times all around. I really enjoy. It's one of those things where I never understand with the Japanime like localizers and stuff. It's like, do I get the idea of why a localizer exists? Well, yes, of course. You know, some things just do not transfer well to the English, and that shouldn't be like, wow, this is no, like there are some things in this beautiful world that just don't translate to another language very well. Idioms, idioms, words of phrase, slang. It happens. We change things. Fine, okay. But like, I'm gonna change the entire script to be something different. Why? Why are you even working on it then? Eat your burgers, Apollo, or some hologram. Yeah, I know. I didn't make a manly because I forgot. Yeah, I said it. I forgot to make a manly. I knew I was forgetting something. I was working on shit late last night. So let's see. How do I want to word? How do I want to word? Let's see. During your time in purgatory, the let's see. During their time in purgatory, the Engrams will be making tests. We'll be making tests to see. Oh, we got Manly's been immediately shot. You shot the cleric. Good God. The writer worked on it for free because she hated the source material. But why? Why would you even hire someone like that? That's the thing that baffles my mind. That's the thing that baffles my mind. I don't get it, Kings. If I'm gonna work on something, I'm gonna at least pretend I give a shit about it. During their time in purgatory, the Engrams will be making tests to see if they can bypass Adam's challenge and inch closer toward their goal. Okay, so very basic. This is a very basic system at the end of the day. During them, we'll be making tests to see if they can bypass Adam's challenges and inch closer toward their goal. Test as an Engram compared to their attribute, which is still a little bit up in the air. We will find a good word for it. To the difficulty value of the test. If the attribute is greater than the DV, they succeed. They succeed without consequence. If their attribute is lower than the DV, they will fail. They will fail. You want to do the Engram. The Engram may choose and is encouraged. It may choose and is encouraged to stress themselves. To roll a die of their choice. To roll a die and add it to their attribute. Each and add it to their attribute. Each of these stress die will be directly added to the attribute of the Engram. Will be directly added to the attribute of the Engram. But they may own, but only one stress die. Stress die may be purchased. Maybe purchased at any, but maybe purchased at any time. Very simply, the Engram choose and is encouraged to stress themselves out to gain a die. So what we get to do now is we get to do insert table 2 by 2. And then we get to do insert table 2 by 2. We want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Going to do that. That. We are working with very small things here, very tight, a little bit tighter than I want. We want to do set everything to 9. We go over here, we set everything to 9. Difficulty value, we go over here, and then we do press die. Okay, so very big. We do that. That means we have to select all of you like this. Technically 3 down. Spartan has been stuck for 9 months. No, Pen. Well, Selen was a VTuber, yes. Let's see. Notepad, what compelled you to make this game exactly? Because I wanted to redo Grambaum. And redoing Grambaum would require me to do this. So I was like, hey, let's just remake this, because I watched the thing from Armored Core and I said, this is a cool idea, and like, I can fix up fucking Grambaum. I can do 2 for 1. And unironically, every single thing we do here that sounds remotely correct will most likely get put into a indirect Grambaum update. Will I do that on stream? Probably not. Will it happen? Probably. So, difficulty, we want, can we actually do a 4th? We cannot do a, God, we are it's so light down here. We are not dealing. If we want to give ourselves a little bit more space, we can do something like this. And then we would put an image right here. Then we would do the difficulty. So what we can do here is we would be able to... No, we wouldn't. But, so, we want to do simple. Actually, no, we want to... Simple should be 6. Standard. Actually, we want to do complex. Complex. Actually. Stress die. We want to buy a D2. 2 stress. We want to buy a D4. 4. D6. 6. D8. 8. D10. 10. D12. D12. 12. D20. 20. I know, very innovative. Very innovative price structuring here. Let's see, we want to do, if we want to do... Two, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then it's kind of like, hey, you know, it gets a little bit way more expensive, but like D2, D3. Recycling is good for the environment, they say. Exactly. Thank you very much. Oh, God, you're going to make me say this, aren't you? Thank you very much, Masked Majuri. Majuri. Mandingo. Thank you very much for following. Let's see. Yeah, let's do a quick to give you an idea of what I'm like, what I'm actually kind of This is what the game is originally based on. This is a much earlier version of this same kind of game, technically. This is the entirety of the system. To give you an idea, this is the entirety of the actual game I wrote for this. It's great. What we need to do, though, is we need to insert a horizontal line there, because I really like horizontal lines, because they really breaking things up. We can add an image right there. And what we do is... actually, no. Since we're doing that, we can actually do... Actually, no. Fire walk with me during let's see, the Engrams. The Engrams will find themselves ripped from their purgatory. We'll find themselves ripped from their purgatory. Purgatoric state. Oh, let's see. We'll find themselves ripped from their purgatoric state, into the heart of their haven. Actually no, from in a lucid state of force them into a lucid state of combat zen. During combat operations, the Engrams do not purchase die with worry about DVs of certain actions. Their destiny. Yeah, there we go. Very basic idea. From their purgatory state. Effectively, this entire system right here is for one particular section of the game. Thanks for butchering it. Have no fear. It will only get worse from here. Now, The thing is, this entire system is for the purgatory section. The purgatory section is effectively, hey, you're loaded up onto the ship and you're trying to discover whether or not you're actually really human, or are you just kind of a machine? And are you going insane, or are you perfectly fine? You're neither. That's kind of one of the ideas there. And you're navigating this through the help of Adam, yes, because I am very creative when it comes to naming things. Otherwise known as the enigmatic advanced determination attendant matrix. Adam. What is it? It's the GM. Yes, the GM is an actual character in this game, and his name is Adam. Why? Because Adam's your onboard AI trying to make sure you don't go fucking insane. But who is Eve? I was thinking about putting in an idea for Eve. Of the idea of like, hey, here's Eve. What is Eve? Eve is perfection. That is the quintessential perfection, but it's also sin. It's your humanity, effectively. Adam is not human. That's a very important thing. Adam is very much not human. He wants you to be as perfect as possible. And the way that he views you as perfect is, we're gonna stress you the fuck out and then force you to go gamer mode. That, like, yeah, we want to push you as far as possible, because they want you to berserk. That's kind of one of the big things. The actual, like, pilots in there, the actual, like, main real cast of the set of the situation is like, yeah, we want these guys berserking 24/7, because if they're berserking, that means they're fighting more efficiently. You lose your mind, but hey, you're not a real human being, right? You're not real. You're a big ol' meme. Actually, the lead will add their full attribute to the multiple engrams working together can surpass most challenges. On the however, however, if effectively, there's two ways of doing this. There is the very simple way of doing the kind of the out of combat stuff, which is the hey, it's effectively Hotel California. Yeah, you're seeing the right idea there, Spartan. It's kind of like, yeah, Adam wants to push you as hard as possible. You, the GM, you want to push them to be as best as possible, because in terms of like the actual world, the more stressed out they are, the better they're actually performing in combat. They start better. You start better. You are more optimized. In game terms, what it is the higher your stress is, the higher your stress builds, the better die you're going to end up with. In your first beat die anyway. So you start off, and if you hit like the, oh wow, I've hit the perfect state of stress for me, I'm going to start a D12. I'm going to start at a D12 beat rather than a D4 beat. Or if you go over, you berserk, hey, you have 2 actions around when everyone else has 1. Downside is you're going completely fucking insane, and you have to manage that beat a lot more to be efficient, because it's going to be a lot harder because you get 2 actions every round. I'm thinking about, I know how I want to do the idea of it's kind of like the idea, like Adam is applying stress. Adam wants to stress you out. He's the one, trying to push you pretty far. I kind of want to do the idea of like putting an indirect injury system in, if that makes sense. Kind of like you have this weird carrot and stick situation where it's like, yeah, you want to hurt yourself a little. You're like, oh, you want to stress yourself out. But getting too hurt is like you're becoming so numb to the fighting that you're just not doing well in the fight now. And that's Eve trying to keep you, Eve is trying to keep you alive. Adam's trying to keep you alive by pushing you to your limit. Eve is like, hey, just relax. Just chill the fuck out for like 5 minutes. You are going to die if you keep doing this, because I still think you're human. And it's like, oh no. Uh-oh. And that's kind of the one of the beautiful things about this is, welcome to the deeply philosophical moments in between me going, ha ha ha, you've committed a war crime against humanity. Well, it won't even be against humanity, it's against fucking aliens. But hey, don't worry, the fucking aliens blew up Earth, so I mean, are they really aliens? Are they really, aliens? Like, are you a real human being, or are you a fake? Or are you real, or are you fake? Are you alive, or are you just a dead man who thinks he is? Deep philosophical nonsense, but don't worry, we're in giant robots, so it's better that way. Let's talk about the nature of dying. On the other hand, giant robot battles. Let's... How do What's a good opposite of despair? Despair. Faith and despair. During their adventures and during their wandering. with that mana situation? Let's see, are they have advantage in the situation? Suffering, despair. Let's see, they will always add +2. So it's like, hey, I have faith, I'm gonna add +2. Hey, I'm in despair, I have a -2. That's it, just a flat value. Actually, faith and despair. Stack 2. Let's see. Just kind of like reinforcing that idea of like, hey, you don't think about it too hard. You know, hey, during combat, you don't worry about faith or despair. That's not your thing. That is not your fucking problem. You don't get better or you get set. You don't get like, oh boy, I'm feeling good, or oh no, this is bad. You're just like, I want to kill as more things. I want to kill as many aliens as physically possible. Hee hee hoo hoo. Please pump me full more of combat stimulants. I wish to meet God. Let's see. Nothing is more holy than. No, nothing is more holy than martyrdom in the face of overwhelming odds. For the Engrams and their havens. In their havens, death has already. Mm. Mm. Actually. Mm. 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 Go. Just kind of put a little bit, kind of a little bit, just putting in that little note there, more along the idea of like, hey, even if you do die, you're going to die. You're like, even if you do inevitably die in your haven, you're not going to like, oh, I need to remake my character. No, you will come back to life. They'll just reboot you. That's all that's going to happen. They will plug in an old memory of you. They will plug in an old version of you. Oh, the mech's called Havens. Yeah, I think Havens. Yeah, a Haven, otherwise known as a hybrid assault vehicle and exoskeleton. You are an Engram. You are an Engram of another human being who is probably dead, but you may not be. And you are aboard a sanctuary ship. That's the entire idea. What's a sanctuary ship? All it is a carrier. That is all a sanctuary ship is. It's just a carrier in which they have a ability to put you in purgatory. That's it. They have a powerful enough computer to make sure that you are in a state of being half alive and half dead. You don't have a physical body anymore, but if they didn't have that sophisticated, tech, you wouldn't be technically thinking. Let's see, so we... Fire walk with me. Now we get to play a game of, do people know where Fire Walk With Me came from? That's the real joke. Let's see. So here's what we're going to do. This was always going to be kind of a shorter session, mostly because I just started a little bit late and I just kind of it's important to get some things hammered out. So, first thing first, Eden burns in the rapture. What the fuck is What the fuck is humanity doing? What the fuck is humanity doing leading Not really that. What the fuck are they doing? Discovery of the snap drive. Actually, I should say. There we go. Humanity, fuck yeah. Nephilim invasion. Fucking aliens invade. Uh-oh. Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Humanity does not have the ability. Uh-oh. Earth blows up. Earth blows up, and the subsequent... We want to call this the Engram project. Scourge of God. Humanity goes gamer mode. And commits total xenodeath. The Engram project. Hey, what if we copied the brains of our best and brightest? As they fucking should. Humanity alone stands. Mono dominance, baby. Yeah, it's effectively the plot I have so far. I need to get the dates set up correctly because the dates are going to be kind of important to kind of give them the idea of it. But is, hey, we found a spaceship. We found a crashed spaceship and effectively back-teched it. We're like, oh, well, we can learn from this when pretty much a vast majority of human tech comes from a goddamn scout ship. We derived everything from a scout ship, or I was like, it's a scout ship, it was like a quote civilian trader or something. Like, it's very much not a military ship, but we've based everything off of this. We've shot ahead on our tech tree real far, and for a good long while, we expand literally everywhere. Like, we are in, like, the dominant species in our immediate immediate area. Like, we went to alien planets, we settled them, we built them up. We are very clearly, like, an ever-increasing expansive species of individuals. It turns out we broke this ancient thing from the Nephilim, who are definitely not from across. Hey, what are the Nephilim? They don't give a shit. They warp in with effectively a super navy, and they are making a beeline toward Earth, conquering territory along the way, but they conquer and they don't give a shit really afterwards. But it's really hard to fight someone when you don't have space guns and they have giant death mechs. It's like, okay, maybe we're not gonna win this one. They fucking glass Earth. Why do they glass Earth? Well, they glass Earth because guess fucking what? They think, oh, if we blow up their homeworld, they would just give up. And the answer was, we almost did, but we're like, nah, fuck that. We're gonna keep fighting till the bitter end. You're going to have to kill every human to make sure this works. And they were like, we weren't prepared for this. Which leads to the Scourge of God situation, which is, hey, Earth is destroyed. We are not fighting a winning war. We can't win this normally. However, we take down one of your ships, we can definitely replace all of our losses very easily. It's kind of that weird, like, humanity can't win a fight, a straight up punching match. So they're not doing that. It's literally like, okay, we're gonna blow our entire salvo at your ship and then warp out. Being like, oh, well, you didn't really do anything. Yeah, but we damaged them, and if they blow up one of our shitty ships, and we damage one of them, the cost is good. They are not replacing their ships. We are. Kind of leading into, like, like, part of me is like, this entire situation is about 600, 700 years of, like, we discovered the tech, here we are now. Another part of me is like, yeah, this is like the far future. We'll fight until we run out of spaceships, then rifles, then knives, then men. Yeah, you're getting the idea. Effectively, like, what I like, the big, you can kind of say, like, the big thing that was like what, you know, encouraged people to continue fighting was like there was a single guy on Titan being like, hey, I'm the last commanding officer of Earth, and I'm telling you all, fight like fucking hell. I'm gonna take as many of them out as I can. He blows up Titan. He's like, yeah, no, they're trying to stop me. Counterpoint, I'm going to blow up a planet to spite them. I'm going to detonate my own military position. Do you drink Red Bull? I don't drink Red Bull, actually. I have not had an energy drink in literal years. And I don't drink energy drinks because I get sick anytime I drink them. So I haven't drank one in a while. Yes, I just have midnight coffee. Very different. But yeah, no, Mask Majority, you're kind of getting the idea of how humanity is thinking right now. And it's like, how does this kind of shift our perspective on things? Because what I want to get the idea is like, hey, humanity is devolving. For better or for worse, humanity has devolved. We're like, oh, we're not kind of like, it's kind of like we went from Star Trek to fucking Dune. Like, it's like, yeah, technically we're more advanced than we have been, but the way we approach situations has become a far less, like, good. It's like, yeah, we could do diplomacy. On the other hand, we could also just nuke you. It's like, what are you gonna do about that? Oh, you want to fight us? Oh, that's cool. We're gonna make a last stand and ram every single one of our ships into yours. And being that kind of like one of the meme things is like, hey, we blew up one of their bigger ships and we actually captured one of their engines. We don't know how to actually strip it to our own engines and make them work because it's just way too advanced tech. On the other hand, we have learned how to make bombs out of them. So we can now effectively drop any manner bombs on them. It's like, yeah, no, like that's the current strategy. There's no victory condition. The victory condition is total victory, and we're going to do it by glassing every single one of them. And kind of like, hey, getting you to some missions, it's going to be like, hey, congratulations, you are deploying onto a mission. There are unarmed combatants. Like, oh, there are unarmed combatants. Please kill them all. Destroy everything. It's like you have unleashed an unholy monster upon, again, hence the scourge of God. And that's kind of like the weird, like one of those fucked up things with the Engram project is, hey, how remarkably CIA. Like the idea of the Engram project is like, hey, we know how to build their mechs, and we've been using their mechs instead of fighters for a while now. Even though we have fighters, but like, hey, it's, you know, we can't land on every single world very well. So it's like, hey, why don't we just make things go? Why don't we make these go faster? Why don't we make them, you know, try to fight them more mano a mano a little bit more? We keep, you know, like people keep getting like turned into fucking paste anytime they get in these mechs if they're going too fast. We need to replace them with something. We're going to make engrams of people. Hey, we're going to make a little copy of you, surgically remove all of the parts that make you you, and just keep all the combat knowledge. And we'll slap one of those in there. And it's kind of like one of those really fucked up things where it's like, philosophically speaking, this is atrocious. This is horrifying. Like, hey, we would never do something like this. This is absolutely atrocious. Like, but it's like, we've crossed moral boundaries at this point. There's no going back. We don't care anymore, though. This will give us an edge. We're going to do it. We are going to use weapons that we should never have developed and we never planned on developing. However, we can and we will use them, and we're going to use them all on them. Yeah, and that's kind of the idea there, Spartan, is like humanity has gotten, like, we've kind of pushed our moral limits to and broke past them, kind of, to do things that we would be like, oh, well, we believe in democracy, we believe in, you know, right, this free speech and all of these things. Like, no, we will do that. We'll break it. You know, a coup d'etat does not, you know, it's kind of like a military coup d'etat does not occur because, you know, the military's evil. It's because they're not doing enough, and the men are, and our fucking military guys want to do more. You know, in the last stream, someone said, like, oh, humanity's become fascist again. It's like, not even that. It's like humanity is just doing whatever they think is correct. And there are, one of the big things is like there are kind of like these smaller subgroups of humans where everyone's kind of now saying, hey, what's the end here? What happens after this? And we don't know. That's a problem. We don't know what's going to actually happen here because of the Jericho March. Because the post-scarcity Peronism, it's kind of the idea of like the Jericho March is like when the game is like explicitly takes place, is you are at the end of the war. There is an end goal. There is an end state. We bomb their homeworld. We literally glass their homeworld in apocalyptic fire, and the Nephilim have been completely defeated. You know, but it's kind of like what happens then. It's kind of the lead up to that particular situation, with the characters needing to kind of go through their own kind of moment of, you know, their own kind of purgatory arc, learning about, like, hey, am I human? Am I a thinking intelligence? Or am I a danger to society because I am effectively an intelligence created to wage a war that is no longer going to happen? And that's kind of the back and forth, because the original draft of this was, it was after the Nephilim War, where it's like, hey, we developed all these cool mechs, we developed everything there. Now people are kind of going around trying to figure out really what happens after this war. And we're all going to fight, effectively. And it's like, hey, congratulations, we defeated the ultimate enemy. We're now going to kill each other again because we know when it looks we've drifted so far from one another. But I'm like, nah, Nephilim War. We'll do that because we have a clear enemy and we have a clear end goal as well. After a certain amount of time, you're going to hit the homeworld and you're going to fight in the, at the bottom of the walls, pretty much. And hey, who fucking cares? And effectively, what I would say is, like, that final session, that final fight should be, if you die, they just send another one in immediately. It's not a time of like, oh, you're going to lose or whatever. No, it's you just keep getting sent in. Kill yourself multiple times. It does not matter. Your goal is to keep funneling your body in there. We're going to clog. We're going to kill them all, whether we like it or not. And that's kind of the moment of like, defeat and stuff is a little bit more complicated in this game, because it's like, it's more about like, hey, let's talk about the grander situation going on. And the grander situation, Siege of Terra, this bitch. And you get the idea there. It's just like, hey, we are going, like, we have clearly passed the point of diplomacy. We're not going to do diplomacy. We're going to throw as many bodies as we can in the situation. We are going to commit an act so egregiously evil that there is no turning back from what we're doing. You know, this will forever be like a black mark on our history because they committed the worst atrocity known to human history. So we're going to do the worst. We're going to double it. And that's kind of like it's taking place kind of explicitly during the Jericho March, and it's like, the giant robot battles aren't really the point. The giant robot battles are just kind of a way to justify going from point A to point B. It's more about, hey, you're having to discover, are you a real person? Are you dead? Do you want to die? Or are you comfortable with being dead? Because you aren't, and you're technically are, though. Like, one of the things I thought about doing was like, hey, like, you are actually aboard the ship. Like, your original ego is actually there. The actual person you're based off of is on board the ship, and you can talk to them. You could talk to yourself effectively, but you're just like this weird, like, lobotomized. You're like this weird lobotomized version of this other person, and they're very disturbed by you. Because everybody aboard the ship does not actually hear the player's voices. All they would see is effectively text on a screen. That's all they would see. Is like, you're like, are you thinking? I think. What are you doing? I want to kill something. You're like, oh. Uh-oh. We have created horrors beyond human imagination, and we're using them to kill aliens. Fuck yeah. So let me do this. So we've explained the game well enough. So we're going to then do Purgatoria, Rhapsody. So we need to explain the purgatory state. Pretty much it's going to be the where are we? Explain the what are we? Where who what where actually Engram's purgatory, explain the purgatory state, explain the actually we can probably go to effectively, what are you actually in purgatory? What are you in the actual purgatory state? Because, like, I'm even going to have to say, like, your first kind of situation should be, like, if you already kind of know the game, you start them off in this very particular situation. You are first booting up, you are in a situation, what do you do? But it's just like, you want to get them started off in the game, start them in the middle of a combat sequence. Start them during boot up sequence. That's all it is. They kind of know they're alive and kind of know they're not. They just know they're giant robots and they want to shoot things. And they want to shoot fucking aliens. That's all they want to do, because if they shoot fucking aliens, they get rewarded. Let's see. Then we do building a haven, which we need to, if we go could say, Mm. Actually, could do. No. Mm. 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 Oh, mm. Momiji's Lumbus Company. It's kind of the idea of the purgatory state is like, hey, Adam, kind of like, you know, this vast intelligent AI thing is trying to get you to stress the fuck out, with the idea being like, hey, your actual handlers aboard the ship, people you do not actually give names to, which would be my very important thing, is never give names to any of the crew members. They're just the captain. They're just this. It's just call signs or just things like that. And even when you do give them a name, it's very like one word. His name is not, you know, it's not like, oh, it's John Smith. It's Smith. You don't know his first name. Why would you? That's completely unimportant to you. And just kind of that very warped back and forth. So the idea of here, because Momiji, he is a guy in my server, he was talking about his Limbus Company thing, and I was like, that's kind of an interesting idea. Didn't know if he wanted to expand on it, I didn't really know what was going on. It's kind of like the idea there in the Lumbus Company thing is you're trying to fill a track to not even fill a track, but you're trying to do things to resolve your personal trauma and your personal sin. And I'm like, oh, we could use this totally for this situation, or use something like that to say, hey, this is what you're actually kind of striving toward. This is the way that you're actually kind of advancing in a way. Is, hey, you are desperately attempting to figure out who the fuck are you? Why are you here? What are you actually doing? Purgatory Rhapsody. Actually, kind of the ideas here. Effectively, like, what I would want to do is like every single one of the Sanctuary ships' purgatory is a little bit different. Like, here's kind of like the basic purgatory, what we're expected, but it's like, hey, you're in Hotel California. That's kind of the idea. It's for those who don't know what Hotel California is. Let me bring that up. Hotel California is by the Eagles, and it's effectively them saying, hey, this place is kind of weird and I can't leave it. You could say it's like, oh, it's drugs, it's this, but it's kind of the same premise of, hey, you cannot escape this place. You're never leaving the titular Hotel California. You're trying to fix something, though. You're trying to fix a goal, though. What are you actually trying to do? Well, we need to find out what's going on. And you're causing stressful situations, and things are going wrong, only to kind of, again, hard cut to, hey, wake up, we're in the middle of a horrifying death war, we need you to kill people for us. Haha, Lamau. Hee hee, hoo hoo. But even down to things like, hey, you're in a weird high school anime, and you can never escape this weird high school anime. It's permanent school, it's permanent, kind of like 2 weeks before summer. And everyone's kind of like, yeah, everyone's kind of relaxed, but everyone's kind of not at the same time. You're always building up toward things, but things that never really happen. And that's where the stress comes in. Oh, well, we need to practice, we need to get better, but then you slowly begin. It's kind of like, what I would want to do even is, you don't know what's real. That your version of, is the engramic version of me real, or is this metal doll of me real? What do I want to be real? Do I want to be like the actual reality I'm in is the correct one, or my perception of reality? Because technically, you're a digital being. They could keep you in there forever, and you would never realize. Because we're secretly the Caligula effect now. It's the Caligula effect. Oh boy! Nobody remembers the Caligula effect. Nobody knows. I remember Caligula effect. Nobody else cares about that game, but I do, because I think it's funny. I think it's a funny game, and I think we should all learn about it more. Steel Coffin War Machine. This is going to be one of those ones where we legitimately just need to sit down, and we need to do it. I'm just going to type in autism over heaven. Fuck it, we ballin'. This will legitimately probably be a 4.5 hour stream of going through hundreds, if not just dozens upon dozens of tables to build your perfect autism machine. Combat section mostly remains unchanged. Then we do the final one, which is the Jericho March, which is... There we go. So this is kind of the this is the most basic thing when it comes to the Jericho March, which is, hey, it's the 30-day warpath. This is the long campaign. Everything's leading up to the 30-day warpath. Multiple sessions, multiple things going on. It's just kind of the leading up to, Jericho burning. 14-day siege. Really built around just fighting on the planet itself, fighting around it. You kind of have a very strict idea of what's going on, all while leading up to it. The 7-day battle, which is, hey, we're dealing with like 6-7 sessions maybe That's it, really. It's very, very short campaign, relatively speaking, but it's like, hey, it's going to be a hell battle every single time, and people are going to die. And then the 3-day bloodbath is like, it's a 1 or a 2 shot, at best. And that's the entire point. So, let's see. What we can do here is we're going to edit... Uh-oh, it's a Hylic. What do? It's a Hylic. What do we do with Hylics? We shoot Hylics with a gun, and they explode, and then we laugh. Okay. Oh yeah, for post-narrative punk wankery. Okay, little bit short, but we've got the most basic. So what we need to do, not Purgatoria Rhapsody, what we need to put in here would be, Engramic is not a word. Yeah, it is definitely not a word. I guess engramic is a word somewhat. So yeah, this is going to be our character creation. The engramic anima is going to be like, hey, this is who you actually fucking are as a human being. Because you are a real human being, as one says. Little bit short today, but I'm going to call it there because it's very late and I need to write a script for Caps. Sorry for it being a little bit short. Apologies. Most likely Wednesday might be a little bit on the later side. But Wednesday is going to be on the later side because there's going to be some things going on that day, but we are probably going to do a very long stream, and you can hold me to that as well. We're going to do a very long stream, and we're just going to work on Iron Methuselah as long as physically possible. Most likely there will also be a stream on Thursday, which we talk about Flag Bearer, which is to say I'm going to sit here and do Flag Bearer most likely. Because Flag Bearer has been started, the PDF is there, we're making progress on it, I need to sit down and just do it. Because it's a pain in the ass, generally speaking, because there's a lot of little bits. Hello, thank you very much, Trail Yeti, for following. We're ending a little early here, apologies, but yes, hello. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. God. What? Why are people posting cringe? But yes. gonna call it there. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching. A little bit short tonight. Tomorrow we're going to be working on the Caps 0014 video. I don't really think the Caps 0014 video is going to be very long. Mostly because the game isn't very complicated. You may be wondering, Notepad, what's Caps 0014? Well, I'm glad you asked. If I go to the greatest website on earth, fucking itch.io, you know, Christ averted, president saved. Here you go. You too can play Caps right now for $4.99, or subscribe to them on my Patreon for literally a fucking $1 and you can get it for free. It do be that way. Everyone always forgets you can just subscribe on the Patreon and get it for free. It's great. So, thank you all. Godspeed. Good luck. Kissu, kissu. I will see you all, on Wednesday.